Okay, you're on. Okay. Good morning. It's Monday, April 5th. This is the Pelton Road Board of Selectmen regular meeting.
This conference will now be recorded.
Let's begin with the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Do we have any public input?
Yes. I have a complaint about Old Town Road that after 4 days of working on the ditch, the water still runs right down a man's driveway. The road pitches the wrong way. Folks up on Ledge Hill Road are wondering what to do with 20-foot logs that have been left in front of their property. The road agent recommended that they hire someone to cut it up for them. They didn't find that answer to be too particularly inviting. And one resident wanted to know why there was a street sweeper on Durgan Road since there never had been one in the 30 years that he lived there. I told him not to pick up sand. That's all my public input.
All right. Move on to review and approval of minutes. Regular meeting on March 22nd. I didn't see any.
Nothing jumped out at me. It's pretty good. I make a motion that we approve the minutes of Monday, March 22nd.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Okay. That's approved. Next, we have the work session minutes from 29th. Get there. I have no changes.
I agree. I'll motion that we approve the minutes of March 29th.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. Next, we have work session minutes from Friday, April 2nd.
I'll make a motion that we approve the minutes.
I'll second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, motion carries. And finally, the non-public minutes from Friday.
I'll move approval.
I second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
Aye.
Okay. All right, let's move on to reports. Hi, Jack.
Hello.
It's
You're on. Yep,
Did we approve the minutes from March 22nd?
we just did.
Okay,
Yeah.
so I had 2 copies. Okay, all right, thanks.
Yep.
All right, so we have 33 building permits, 5 new homes. I've done 107 inspections. All the bubblers have been taken out and put away. The Melvin dock, the front left, is soft. When the ice hit it 2 years ago, it was never repaired correctly. Jim was supposed to go in and put on the beam under it, was never put under there, so that needs to be taken care of. And then the concrete portion of Union Wharf, it's covered with gravel. I mean, it's 6 inches deep, so that needs to be cleaned up while they're sweeping and doing something.
And where's this on Union Wharf?
Union Wharf, yeah, the concrete part before the wood,
Yeah.
it's just buried in gravel from the road being plowed, so.
building projects?
Doug got his deposit, and he said the windows are in, so he's just waiting for one job to finish up, and he'll start on the cupola, and this building being painted is just waiting for the weather and Dave to come start it, so
Yep.
it's on his schedule, so.
Okay. Anything else for Jack?
Do we get the cupola done?
Yeah, that's being done this spring, yeah. The
Okay.
windows are all ordered,
So
should be
those are the
supposed to be
windows
in,
you're talking
that's
about?
all being done, yeah.
Okay. Cool.
He's gonna do some of it, take the windows out and stage on the inside over a weekend, so he'll just have access to the floor, that's all he needs, so
Mm-hmm.
I'll let him in and he'll be up there doing that, so. Nothing falls or anything. It's a long way up.
Good.
Okay. Thank you, Jack.
Okay,
Mr. Rule? Thank you.
Thanks.
I got my letter from the state that said I was all set until I take my test.
So you took the class.
Yeah, my class, my test in June.
You will become a certified assistant operator.
An operator. I don't take the test for to be an assistant operator.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
And when's the test?
June 9th.
I'm sorry?
June 9th. And the second the other pages are just a couple pages I wanted to show you. Kathy came up and helped me get us into the 21st century with some bookkeeping. So that we can keep track of the inventory on hand, close up some kind of a snapshot of what we have on site. So aluminum cans, cardboard, light bulbs, before we ship them out. Which have the first two pages are what we have shipped out previous to date. And the second 4 pages are what we have on site currently, which we will be shipping out once we have the truckload.
Okay.
So our solid waste numbers are down quite a bit by the looks of it.
Actually, the minimum part of what we spend,
I'm looking at 2019 at 26 tons,
that's,
and we're at 17 now for 2020.
that's kind of deceiving because that 2019 number is a mix. That
Yeah,
doesn't include the pandemic period.
right.
That was the 2019 and kind of skipped over 2020.
What else is going on at the transfer station?
A couple of things I need to look into. The gas metering system is not functioning. That's the system that was put in place to monitor the gas underneath and in the building for the gas lines. That hasn't been functioning in some time. It just is off and it has been. So I need to check into that. The water filter system doesn't work. So the water up there isn't safe to drink or use. Basically, other than washing hands.
Mm-hmm.
So if the guy puts something in their eyes,
Yep.
We can use it to wash their eyes. So we need to change that and get that straightened out. Other than that, I've checked with the equipment's good.
And were you able, you and I chatted briefly about brushing.
I just wanted to talk to Jim.
I'm sorry?
I'm going to talk to Jim
Okay, yeah.
directly and see if that's something that we can work out.
And did you, or you
I
had?
haven't had a chance yet to talk to him. I think that was probably something that we could work out together.
Right. This would dramatically reduce the cost of removal of the brush.
Right.
It might include, it would have to include the road agent and a truck for a certain number of hours, but it seems like a lot less cost involved and maybe
Yep.
a better way to handle it than what we've been doing.
Makes sense to look at it, for sure.
That's basically all I have.
Yeah, and he's not busy all the time. I mean, it shouldn't be hard to coordinate if you have one.
It shouldn't take much time, maybe a couple hours
Right.
once every couple of months.
Things to look forward to. We're gonna have probably, we didn't last year, but I'm kind of thinking that we might have it this year, a meeting of the Island Association. So we'll let you know when that's gonna happen. Your participation is voluntary, but your department will be the topic of discussion, I'm sure, because it always is.
Yeah.
But there's donuts and coffee, if you got that going for you. Right. But we'll let you know when that happens.
Yeah, normally it's
July.
middle of July, yeah, second or third.
Actually, I think I put it on the website already. I'll have to look, because Clay had mentioned to me what the date was.
Oh, I know, you're talking about cleanup day.
Yeah.
We're talking about,
Oh, you're talking
we're talking
about,
about a meeting of the Islanders Association.
oh, I apologize.
Which is, the reason that the transfer station is a topic of discussion is because Island Day is always a topic of discussion by the Islanders.
Right.
So I would get the 15th of July, so it must be sometime before the 15th, right?
Yeah. Swap shop, I think I heard the swap shop's planning to open May 1st, is that right?
That's at least what I've heard, yeah.
So, and they, hopefully they'll put some signs up and get the word out.
Yeah,
I know the network's pretty good at getting the word out to people that use it, but,
We've been getting a lot of phone calls.
yeah,
Although the county jail's in sort of turmoil all the time now, we were successful in past years at getting prisoner details out to do the periphery cleanup. So you may want to reach out to whoever the superintendent is now and see if that is still an available resource.
yeah.
Yeah, the guys did that last week, I was downtown.
Oh, they did it?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, all right.
So I'm sure it will start to be done again. But
Yeah, it's the wind that drives that more than anything.
Yeah, yeah. So I've wondered before, I mean, it's the loose stuff, Brett, that's not bad, that goes into the compactors that causes the problem. So I guess what I wonder is if we had like a strip curtain, not all the way down, but on the upper part of that area, if that would reduce stuff blowing out.
would if we had a row of trees in that gully that comes up and over the landfill,
Yeah,
you know, in that little swale,
yeah,
there was a row of trees that was a buffer, that was certainly,
that would catch the stuff,
that would,
wouldn't it?
that would divert it, because that's the wind comes from right along that valley.
Yeah,
Come right across that valley and blow right through that compactor. But that would take some time for those to mature.
So
If we're gonna put trees in, the sooner we put them in, the sooner.
But that was designed.
Yeah,
So any staffing issues or?
Going pretty smooth. I mean, the only staffing thing that I can see in the future is my goal down the road would be to up the per diem staff by probably 3 or 4 people and hire some quote unquote younger people because the per diem staff is getting up in years and they're going to be retiring sooner than later and we're not going to have it. So pretty soon I'm going to pick up the phone and call people and they're not going to need it. So we'll get some people training, but that off will be.
Yeah, if the paper recycling comes to pass, then between now and next spring, we're gonna have to
Yeah.
figure out how we're gonna
I
handle
mean,
that.
I can have 10 people on paper, it doesn't mean I have to use them all the time, but it'd be nice to have 10 people or 8 people trained.
mhm.
Right. Right.
Okay, anything else?
Good to me.
Transportation?
Okay.
All right, thank you, Chris.
Thanks, Chris.
Have a good day.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
You get a badge for that?
Like a Boy Scout
All
badge.
right,
Thank you.
move to the signature file. First up is a application for a new firefighter, new hire. Edwin Garrett.
I move we sign.
I said,
All in favor?
aye.
Opposed? Next is a selectmen's deed for parcel 57-2-18. This is was something that was taken for taxes that the former owner has redeemed.
Okay.
So,
I move we sign.
Second?
all those in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Next, we have a notice of intent to excavate for 67, well, we have several of them, actually. I think we can handle them all in one motion. 67-1-3, 32-2-12, and 32-2-6.
These are all existing.
These are existing permitted pits, and this is their annual filing to indicate that they're planning to do
I
something.
motion that we sign this
I'll second.
intent to excavate.
All right, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye, opposed?
Can you check?
Yep.
Yeah, they get mailed out to the state once you sign them.
Next, we have a gravel tax levy for, this is for last year's excavations for 32-2-6.
How much was the levy?
It's $124.36. So 32-2-6 and 32-2-12.
I'll move that we sign them.
Second?
All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Have another gravel tax levy for 16-2-16 in the amount of $209.58.
Go ahead, Chip.
How will we sign it?
Second?
All those in favor?
Aye.
I think that's it for signatures today, right? All right. Next is action items. I think that's right, yeah. Yeah. And under action items, we have a couple of work orders for Lakes Region Computer to add firewalls to servers in the Central Fire Station and Police Department, right?
Mm-hmm. And then it's a yearly cost for running the firewalls,
Okay,
work order too.
so,
So that, is that included in their program that we approved?
No, this is Primex put forward some security requirements for IT security.
yep,
And Lakes Region did the survey that they wanted done, and to meet the requirements, this is what he recommends.
And what's the cost of it?
so we're talking, the firewalls are $1,399 each.
Is there one?
No, there's two of them, because we already put one on the server in the town offices. And then the annual cost for doing whatever you do with them is $400, $402. So we need to approve those and
So 3,190.
Well, I think they're good for quite a few years, it's just the yearly thing after they implement the
Right.
firewalls.
So the
Right.
400 is gonna be an annual.
annual, right, and the 1,400 is a one-time, right? So I'm gonna move that we approve this work, put us in good stead with Primex, and suggest that we charge the $400 fee to the same area that we spend the annual money out of, and that each of these firewalls get charged to its respective departments, as we have done in the past with no hardware.
I guess I'll second.
Yep.
For purposes of discussion.
Yep.
The only thing I'd like to look at is what the budgeted amounts are that the departments have, and if there's any room in the insurance line to mitigate that a bit. I don't know if that can be used, but yeah, it's probably,
So,
disregard that.
again, it seems to me that the expense goes to the department,
Right.
and if we need to find some money at some point to put in there, rather than,
Right.
then we'll do
Right,
that.
my second remains.
Okay, any further discussion?
Nope.
All right, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? All right, and we also have, they put together a data disaster recovery plan for us. And this is something that meets the requirements that the insurance company is looking for. So we need to approve that. I don't know if you had a chance to look at it.
So
I
this is
scanned
gonna-
it, it's sort of Greek to me. Tom is much more conversant in this stuff than we are.
I don't have the faintest idea about most of this. I presume
You know, I-
firewalls to protect data and it's a security thing, but that's only a guess on my part.
Well, that's, yeah, right. And this data disaster recovery plan is just like a step-by-step
Mhm.
procedure of how the town will deal with a situation if it
I'm
arises.
presuming the insurance company wants us to have a plan,
Right, exactly.
not just stumble ahead, blindly.
And,
There was a
As-
plan that she created back in the 90s,
Yeah.
which is very outdated now, so.
well, and as things evolve, what worked 4 years ago is way out of date today because technology changes and the skills and knowledge of the bad guys out there change. We gotta continue to. work our way forward.
So this is just the plan,
That is a plan, right?
okay, and then it's a matter of how much, like pre-configured laptops for key staff members, that kind of thing, as a hardware expense. But I didn't see anything here that tells me how much it's gonna cost.
So there isn't a price tag attached to that. This is just sets forth how we as a town are gonna deal with
Oh, okay.
with a disaster as it comes up. And some of the things he talks about in here are things that we need to do, but we can do with existing hardware. If it comes to a point where we need to buy some stuff, then
Right.
beyond that.
Or it gives us
It's like a
a
policy.
guide to
Right.
process going forward.
Previous line.
Okay. We need to vote on that, or is it?
I would suggest that we take a vote on the disaster recovery plan, officialize it.
All right, I move that we approve the, I can't read the name, of it, the Disaster Recovery Act policy or whatever it is.
I'll second.
Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? All right, I think that's what we've got for action.
Okay.
Uh, We have, well, we've got, I'm looking at, all right, Kathy's updates. So Tyler Phillips is looking for direction in terms of where he should concentrate his efforts at this point, whether on design work at Union Wharf or on Lake Road. Your thoughts?
Well, my thought is that we're gonna push forward with Lake Road. But I don't know that we didn't put a warrant article in to do that.
We did.
Did we?
We have a warrant article for Lake Road.
Okay.
So that's why I told him that we might have to wait till May, but I didn't know if, I thought,
Well, he should have his.
did you have encumbered funds that came?
Right, and the other thing is, we still have the question that I thought he was working on, which is including the total project at Union Wharf
Right.
as a one step. That's,
I think we ought to have him in.
yeah,
Can you have Tyler come in?
I will.
Great.
yeah, I think that makes sense.
Okay.
That'll refresh my memory
Next one,
Yeah.
okay?
and give Guy the opportunity to get up to speed and ask the questions directly rather than through other areas. Okay. The sealed non-publics are ready for review.
All right, I'm gonna start that today if I possibly can.
All right,
I don't know what you guys are gonna do. On the perambulation, that,
Mhm.
the young lady that was in the other day,
That was from Molten Burrows.
oh, I thought she was from Wolfboro.
No.
No, she's
So the
Molten.
Molten Borough piece is taken care of,
Mhm.
right?
Yeah,
But Ossipee and Wolfboro are still
somebody need, well,
hanging out there,
yeah,
right?
you got, all three of yous decide to wait till spring.
Right,
And so I just kind of had a little tickler
yeah.
to tell me.
So, yeah, I'd say reach out and,
Who's gonna do the walking?
Well, depending on when they do it, I can do one or both of the lines. The problem I have with the Wolfboro line is that I'm in it's not really a dispute, but my property travels over the Wolfboro-Tupper line.
right,
And Conservation Commission, and other conservation Lakes region is trying to mitigate that boundary line issue, so I got a little bit of conflict there.
yeah, well, I don't have any problem walking it. And
Me neither.
And my understanding on changing the boundary line, if we're talking about changing the town line, is that's gotta go through the legislature.
Yeah, no, we're not gonna change the town.
Okay, I was gonna say, yeah,
You know, where it's marked, but it's poorly marked through there. And so it's gonna be a Wolfboro representative and a Tuftonboro representative determining where the.
yeah,
And then
Whole scavenger hunt for whatever you can find.
yeah.
Yeah,
Okay,
it's
so-
just that's where my conflict lies.
Mhm.
So Chip, what's a good days as far as when I call them and try to set up a time for you guys to walk? What's good for you as far as days of the week?
Any day but Monday, actually, or Friday.
So Tuesday, Wednesday, or Thursday?
Yeah.
Any specific particular times?
No,
Okay.
doesn't. I mean, they have to be after 8:30, because that's when I get back from Conway, unless they do it during spring break. But,
So I'll say after 9 to cover
yeah.
everything, okay. And then who's doing Wolfboro?
Hmm?
Who's doing Wolfboro?
Uh,
Okay,
yeah,
now what do you,
I'll do it. Well, I guess it depends upon when we're thinking about doing it. Because different weeks or,
well, that's it, you need to
so,
give me a,
yeah, I guess what I'd say is reach out to them and remind them that this is something that we're gonna coordinate on
okay.
and
Well, Matt Sawyer over at Ossipee basically said, when you're ready, let me know and we'll hook it up. So I'll call him about
Yeah.
yours. And
all
then,
right, do we have somebody in Wolfboro that's,
let me check on
Yeah.
that before,
So-
okay.
yeah,
All right,
so we'll figure it out. All right, so we have a spreadsheet from Wolfboro Parks and Rec that she had forwarded, as she said she would, after our last get-together with her. Yeah, pretty well. I think what it's showing us is that we're getting about our money's worth out of what we put into the program. Give or take.
Yeah, it's just difficult to see. I mean, she just broke up resident and non-resident,
Right.
and I can't believe that every non-resident is a Tuftonboro person. And we have non-residents from other places, I'm sure that you don't miss.
well, this is supposed to be Tuftonboro.
This is
This is
This
Tuftonboro.
is Tuftonboro, is my understanding.
She's just showing you the
What it
different
says up
rates.
in the upper left-hand corner.
Yeah,
So this is,
Just our kids.
her presentation is that the non-resident dollar amount is all Tuftonborough's?
No.
Okay.
What she's saying is, that's what they would have gotten charged if they charged them non-resident. And then the resident rate is what they actually got charged.
right. So if you look at the upper left,
Yeah,
Pop Whalen Youth Pass, in 2017, there were 11 of them,
yeah,
all right? At the resident rate, it's $550. If they paid the non-resident rate, it's $880. So by totaling up the two, what it shows is that they would have paid about $15,000 more if we didn't participate in the resident program. That's why I say it's not exactly, but it's
It's better than what we had.
it's not, yeah, it's not.
14,961.
Hmm?
14,961.
Yeah,
So it's not, I mean, we're a couple grand off, but that's,
right.
it's not a million miles off, that's for sure.
And she
No.
doesn't keep track for the programs with one rate. As you can see, they got they'll be getting discounts there, but she doesn't keep track of it. The
Mhm.
karate, the dinners, the quilting, all that. So that would cost more money too.
Thirteen, 950, 10, 21, 19, 20,
Yeah.
so. And did Dennis get a copy of this as well?
She did forward it to Dennis as well.
I spoke with Kerry Lynch the other day on the warrants, and he indicated Dennis is working with him on getting the application together.
He's supposed to. I
Yes.
haven't heard one way or
Yeah,
another.
so if you could kind of eyeball what Dennis is doing.
Okay.
So that he doesn't, so if he runs into an issue or has a question, it would be good to deal with it rather than,
Throwing her hands in the air?
yeah,
Well,
exactly.
if I may,
Yes, sir.
more of a selectmen's update, but I met with Dennis right after our non-public, our work session on Friday.
Yeah,
Let him know that I was representative. We had a very nice conversation. He seems pretty at ease with me. They
yeah,
should be having a meeting right shortly here, which I will attend, and hopefully I can keep an eye on what's going on with that too.
yeah.
And that would just so we're not all of a sudden shocked.
You know, Dennis embraces things and puts it all on his shoulders to carry it, and
Yeah, you know,
And so we have resources and folks there to assist with it.
Sure.
And,
well, he's very enthusiastic.
Yeah.
That's for sure.
absolutely. All right. So the next item is you have set up with Barbara Lohman to be at town meeting, is that right?
Well, her secretary said that she scheduled her.
Okay, perfect.
Any comment from Rick on,
So he had reached out because he was wanting to take vacation then, but he didn't want to leave us hanging, so.
But I did let him know that Barbara has agreed to do it.
I think Barbara's a lot less polarizing than Rick.
Well, she's worked out well for us at the town meeting. She's a disinterested third party, if you will, but very knowledgeable about the, government law and procedure. So I think it's a good thing. And then we have some confidential stuff for non-public.
So we're gonna hire Barbara, can you let her know? Great.
Yeah. Yeah,
Um,
all right.
so we're gonna have a non-public?
Brief, yeah,
Yeah.
to deal with that.
Cool.
All right, correspondence. So, don't see.
One last thing on our needs, administrative secretary update kind of needs. We got a copy of the floor plan for the police station.
Yep,
Do we need to approve that? Is that
Bill just asked me to supply that.
Yep. So, what I don't think this incorporates the things that we were talking about with Chief last week.
That was his concern. His email to me was that this does not have the revised janitorial space or locker room. This is in line with the MEP drawing we have for the 95% review.
So we've already taken action by meeting with the chief,
Right.
Right.
so he just needs to incorporate that.
Right. So it's not clear to me if, I'm not getting warm and fuzzy about Phil's making those changes before it goes out for bid.
It sounds like he's saying that he's trying to get it through so that they can start the bid
Okay.
through USDA.
Mhm.
So, do you want him to come in? Do you think you need to touch base with him again, or?
I'm happy to call him, and,
Yeah, it's just a matter of, I mean, it's got a month.
yeah, I hate to drag him in here just to have a conversation if we can get it done over the phone, and it just seems like we got a bit of lag here between where we're at and where we want to be. All right, let me quickly go through correspondence here. Dredge and fill permit application for 69-211. Invitation to the Lakes Region Housing and Economic Snapshot event, April 15th from 4 to 5:30. Put on by the Lakes Region Community Developers. Annual report from Lakes Region Planning Commission. That's agenda for March 29th. That's notice of decision from the ZBA, loss management minutes. Schedule for loss management inspections, Tuesday, May 4th and Tuesday, May 11th. Red list bridge inspections. Didn't we talk about that last night?
Yes.
Okay.
Emergency director on it.
No. No, we're not.
We're not really listed.
No. Executive Counselor wrap up. Notice to abutters on potential herbicide treatment for milfoil. I know it went out because I had somebody call me saying, what's this about? And how come they're doing here and I don't see them doing by my house? I said, well, we're doing it where there's invasive weeds. So if you have invasive weeds there that need it, then let us know. Tax collector certification of final billing for 2020. Letter from resident of Mirror Lake supporting the new cell tower. Letter from the IRS regarding sick and family leave credit under the Coronavirus Response Act. Is this?
From what I understand, when the 941 was done, they put in an exemption for that because we had some people that were out of work due to COVID.
Yep.
So I don't know if Diane thought that was part of it or what, but they're saying that we're not qualified to do it because we're a government. So they're asking for the money back for the credit that we got. So I don't know if you guys want to talk to Diane
How
about
much
it.
money are we talking?
Someone wants to talk to Diane about it.
Yeah,
More
we're talking
specific.
$3,300. Not huge dollars, but so.
So she was using what, a provision for
Private industry.
essential employees, or?
I guess there was some kind of credit you could have got on your taxes if and she used it for the town.
Wow.
And now they said you don't qualify because you're a government. So they basically want the money back.
Why don't we put this on the agenda for next Monday? Maybe Diane can sit with us and
Yeah.
help us understand what's what.
So you want her in too?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Uh,
I tried to get her to explain to me what it was about, and that's the gist I got of it. I figured one of you would stop and talk to her, or if you want,
Yep.
I'll have her come in.
Yeah, I think then we all know what's what. Okay, and then this is a wetlands permit application for 38 Little Bear Island. That's all we got for correspondence. All right, selectmen's updates. Mr. Albee.
I guess I brought up the meeting that I had with Chris at the transfer station with regard to the brush. And as I mentioned earlier, I'm gonna start going over the non-public minutes.
Yeah.
Oh, and do we have a meeting on the 19th?
That's our third one.
Huh?
That's our,
That's 3rd weeks, right?
Yeah, so we
So we
don't.
do not.
Okay, because
Right.
I have a medical appointment on that.
Okay. So, and I've had a couple of conversations with Chris as well, and he's looking at the operation up there through a different set of eyes than had
Yeah.
done it for a number of years, and I said, encourage him basically, hey, anything you see that you think makes sense to do different than we've done it in the past,
I was just
Let's-
surprised that
let's explore it.
the ventilation system for the closed landfill wasn't working, and I think Sandtech would have picked up on that.
Yeah,
And as far as the water, the condition of the potable water, which is non-potable, I guess,
yeah,
that doesn't happen overnight generally, so.
no, that's right. That's right, so,
Good to get that
yeah.
fixed.
Absolutely, but again, in terms of things that we've done, there's nothing wrong with questioning everything and looking
No.
for a fresh approach. Okay.
I would, one thing, that the cemetery trustees have lost their sexton. He's taking a job in the Caribbean. So, if anybody knows anyone who might like to be the sexton, we're meeting tomorrow night at 5 o'clock in the Conservation Commission office.
And
We need a sexton.
it requires a certain amount of technical ability to be the second.
Well, to be able to read a tape measure is a really good thing.
Yeah.
We don't have to get down to 16ths, but feet and inches. We have maps, we have monuments to work from. It can be done by, I won't say everyone, but, yeah.
And I know the sexton that we had, or who's leaving, did a good job of organizing things, so.
Oh, yes, we have nice up-to-date maps and everything, and it's really good.
So are you guys planning on putting an ad out, or? are you
We meet tomorrow night,
And then you'll decide?
and I will certainly push for something at that point in time.
Yeah, unless somebody knows.
Right, if you don't have any good prospects, then obviously it makes sense to advertise for
Get it
it,
out
see
there, sure.
where we go.
Yep.
So, all right. The only thing I have is an update on planning board. We had a hearing at the meeting last Thursday on the cell tower on Tuftonboro Neck. That hearing has been continued to the May 6th, is it, meeting? First meeting in May. There's some additional things that we have asked for from the applicant. A number of community folks were at the meeting to express their concerns about the effects of radiation from cell towers. And a third-party engineering firm is going to review and verify the projections on energy levels. the permissible energy level from cell towers is set by federal regulation.
Right.
And the calculation presented by the applicant shows that the energy level that they reach at the specified distance is 2% of the federal maximum, which seems pretty low, but
Seems reasonable enough, doesn't it?
yeah, it's, it is what it is, and understandably, folks are
I'm concerned, sure.
concerned about things that go on. So, planning board at the April 15th meeting have two public hearings. One is application for Eversource for tree trimming along scenic roads, and another one is boundary line adjustment between a couple of properties up on Brown Road and North Line Road. Question was raised about town's tree trimming without a hearing before the planning board.
On the tree removal of the.
Yep. Yep, and I know that there, under the statute, there is a provision for, or an exemption for removal of hazardous trees. So I don't know if that extended beyond that, but something that we need to look into. The town requires it for other entities, and if we're planning to do extensive stuff, then that probably needs to go to planning board as well. I know, or I thought the trees he was taking down were hazards, but I don't know that for sure. You live up there,
Yeah, and I looked at the trees that came down, most of them needed to come down. They were either dead, dying, or way into the road right away.
Yeah,
So and were certain Ledge Hill Road is in that scenic road plan? Because I don't remember that it was, but maybe
well,
not.
I don't know. Yeah, I don't know.
And was there any, or is there any percentage? I mean, even in the scenic byways legislation that I read back 20 years ago, it wasn't that you couldn't cut anything,
Right.
because you have to be able to maintain the frontage of your property, but you couldn't take out a certain percentage or a certain whatever of the canopy and,
There are exceptions to
you know,
to
because I don't think
non.
at any one spot on the Ledge Hill work that they did in the Dirty Road work, well, I don't know that they went to Dirty, but I don't know that they hit any one spot with
Yeah.
any more than one
Yeah.
tree, and then they were moving along to,
All right.
100 feet or 200 feet to the next tree.
Now, as it relates to the wood left alongside the road, as I remember, the wood that comes down belongs to the property owner that's
Yeah.
there. And so the tree removal company can't take it away unless the property owner says they don't want it.
Right. The
So-
issue basically is that, and at least in my memory, I've never seen full logs laid in front of somebody's property. They always cut it up at least a 4-foot length from them.
Right.
And with our aging population, myself included, 4-foot wood that's 20 inches around is pretty heavy too.
Yep,
And
Yep.
that was the big concern, is that people can't do anything with it unless they spend money, according to the road agent. He did say, however, that if the wood was still there when it came time for mowing season, that he would spend town funds and move the wood.
Or
But
just,
at this time, he didn't want to spend any town money.
yeah. I guess we need to we're having a hard time getting our road agent in.
Yeah.
But I think if we're gonna continue the tree trimming program that he's initiated, we need to come up with some kind of a policy about what goes on at the
Sure.
end of the program.
Yeah.
So if the,
So we have a straightforward understanding of this is how this goes
Right.
on and
right,
what happens when. And
because they have the equipment on site when they.
Oh, yes, yeah.
So
Right.
either move it into the property owner's property, or they can work it up or take it away,
Yeah, they're right there. It's-
you know.
I mean, I noticed the power company, they chop it up small enough that most people can handle it. Different organization, obviously, but they're good about it.
Yeah.
The problem I see with the way the power company handles it is that you get these wood thieves that come through there. And I don't know how many times I've had to stop and tell people that they don't own that. It's not town wood,
Right.
it's the property owner's wood.
Right.
Talk to
And
them.
I was able to hook up a couple of people up there with another fellow that they don't want the wood, he'll come and take it away for them.
Yeah.
But not everybody, so.
Yeah.
Just the first time I've seen it done that way in my lifetime that I can remember. It's out of the ordinary.
And a couple of those trees are pretty big, one up by
Yeah.
Sue Weeks' house.
The butt of that thing
Yeah.
is tremendous.
Yeah.
It's a lot of accidents.
All right. Do we have any other business?
I think that's it, I'm gonna move that we go.
Public input, please.
Jesus.
Sorry about that. It's gonna happen real quick.
All right,
I've been in town for 20 years, and I wanna talk about perambulation.
yeah.
Now, I've been with all the selectmen and several groups have walked the town properties. I thought monuments were already set in place. Somebody said the state requires you to do it every 7 years.
That's correct.
Unless the earth has moved, why would the property lines move?
It's not that you're, okay, there are two parts to the perambulation. One is to maintain the monuments or just make sure everything hasn't,
And we get GPS these days
Yeah.
also.
and somebody hasn't moved something. But more importantly, it's land use. So if you own property, and it happened over in Water Village, or near Water Village, on Sawyer Road, where a landowner owned property in one town and in another.
Yes.
All one contiguous lot. It's important to know what's going on there, because a person like that, I'm not saying that person, but a person like that could come to Tuftonboro, get a building permit, and actually build a building in Ossipee.
Okay, so past inspections, we already have all reports on file at the office,
Right.
so we would just have to kind of look at it. It would make the job a lot easier. I just trying to save steps and time and money as far as,
Well, there's a lot of, or perennial legislation that comes up that would eliminate perambulation,
Or change the periodicity.
or
Yeah.
change the frequency.
all right, thank you, I'm not gonna dwell on it. Parks and Rec, are we giving Wolfboro $16,000 this year? Well, the reason I'm asking this question is because on the 29th, we don't have any film for the meeting that took place and I wasn't here to see what the people were talking about. So, are we just gonna give them $5,000 or are we giving them $16,000?
The meeting that happened was a request from to the Wolfboro Parks and Rec director to justify the $16,000.
Yes,
She has since sent us a spreadsheet illustrating 3 or 4 years of what benefit was derived by Tuftonboro residents for the, through Wolfboro and their Parks and Rec, for them getting the $16,000 check.
okay,
And it works out to be, I mean, we did the math on one of, it was $13,800 worth of benefit. Another year it was $14,000. So I think our collective decision was we're gonna continue forward.
Yes.
It was.
Right, and I'll refer you to the minutes from that meeting.
that's correct. The minutes of the meeting do not mention the dollar amount. They just
No,
mention that
we didn't
we,
know.
That's, well, no, what it says is they made a motion to continue to pay the yearly fee to Wolfboro.
Okay, so that's why I.
So the
because-
yearly fee's been previously identified,
Yes.
$16,661. No
One-
ambiguity there.
I wasn't here. Two, previous meetings, there was a discussion on the floor on how we were going to do, or how you were going to do it.
Right.
Okay. All right, moving on. The boats that are gonna show up over down in Melton Village, the loaners we're getting from Wolfboro, is that happening also?
19 Mile Bay.
19 Melton, thank you.
We don't know yet. That
Working on
just
it.
started.
Okay, and last but not least, scenic roads. Is there a list of scenic roads on file at the townhouse so that anyone can go out? Because we're having discussions about some people cut trees, some people don't, okay? And they're not even making it, I'm bringing it up for attention. If anybody watches this, say, hey, you gotta check in with the selectmen or the planning board or whatever before you cut. You gotta know if you are on a scenic road or not. That's all I have.
And the answer is yes, we do have a list.
Yes, we do.
Town office.
Okay. Thank you very much.
Okay,
Okay.
so you have a motion on the
I was
floor.
about to.
Oh,
So we got rudely interrupted by the public.
Sorry.
Yeah, I need to make a motion to go into non-public for, it appears to be,
Legal.
it's legal, yeah,
is it all legal? Okay, it is all legal.
yeah. All right,
Give me a second.
second?
Oh, second, sorry.
Marcus, yes?
Only yes.
Mike, yes.
All right,
Okay.